Hey guys, it's Landon Blake with Top Bias Surveyor. In this video, we're going to cover a kind of basic concept of geometry, and that is how to calculate the perimeter of a shape. We're going to do a second related video that talks about how to calculate areas of some basic shapes. In these two videos that we're going to do today, we're just going to be dealing with squares, rectangles, and right triangles. Okay, so we're not going to do irregular triangles or circles or portions of circles. So we're gonna stick with squares, rectangles, and triangles today. We'll do some other videos about working with some of the other shapes, irregular triangles, irregular polygons, and circles or portions of circles, but we'll save that for another day, some different videos. So let's go ahead and talk about this concept of perimeter in geometry. Okay, perimeter. Okay, and you can see it has that that word meter in it, right? Meter or measure. Okay, so perimeter means a measure around the outside. That's basically what perimeter means. So it's a measurement of the length around the outside of the shape, or another way to think of it is if you take all the sides of a shape and you sum up their lengths, that's what the perimeter is. So let's look at a couple examples. We're going to look at an example of a perimeter for a square, and then we're going to look at an example of a perimeter for a rectangle. Okay, and then we're going to do a perimeter for a right triangle down here. Okay. All right, so let's look at a square. Okay, so if you have a square, and let's say this square is 20 feet by 20 feet. Okay. And we want to know what is the perimeter. So to do that, we just add up all the sides. 20, 40, 60, 80. Okay, so the perimeter for that square is 80 feet, right? So if you want a shortcut, if you know the length of one side of a square, you just multiply it by 4. That gives you the perimeter for a square. Okay, rectangle. So let's say we've got 300 feet here, and we've got 500 feet here. Okay. Okay, so if we add all these up to get the perimeter, right, we got 500 plus 300 is 800, right? Plus 500 is 1300, plus 300 is 1600, okay? So perimeter here is 1600 feet, okay? Or an easier way to do that for some of you will be to say, all right, I got two sides that are 500, that's 1,000. Two sides that are 300, that's 600. 1,000 and 600 is 1,600, okay? So there's perimeter for a rectangle. Okay, for a right triangle, all right, let's say we've got 40 feet here, 30 feet here, which would make this 50 feet. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Okay, same thing, you're just going to add these up, right? So 40 plus 30 is 70 plus 50, the perimeter here of our right triangle, right? 40 plus 30 is 70 plus 50 is 120 feet. All right, sounds easy enough, right? Okay, now let's put some shapes together and practice doing some perimeters of some shapes that are together. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have some worksheets that I'm going to post on the Top by a Surveyor page that'll let you practice this. Okay, so let's say we've got a square here, and we're going to make it 12 units by 12 units. Okay, and then we're going to put a rectangle on here. Okay, and we're going to say this is 3 units. This is 5 units. Nope, I'm sorry. That's not going to work. So let's say this is 12 units also. 12 feet, 12 feet, 12 feet. And let's make this 4 feet. Okay, and 12 feet. Okay, so let's figure out what the perimeter of this is. Now you'll notice I didn't label the distance of this side because we can figure that out with the information that we're given. Okay, so if this is a square, let's go ahead and let's write in some of the missing values here, the missing links that we didn't get. If this is a square and this is 12 feet and this is 12 feet, we know that this is also 12 feet, okay, because it's a square, right, which means this is 12 feet, okay. That tells us we've got 4 feet here and 12 feet here and 12 feet here, okay. All right, so that means this, if this is a rectangle, this overall length here, okay, is also going to be equal to this length, right? Another way to look at that is if you could just draw some blue dotted lines across here. Okay, and then we can write in blue. We know this is 4 feet, this is 12 feet, and this is 12 feet. Okay, so if you add those up, 12 and 12 is 24, plus 4 is 28 feet. So the overall length of that side is 28 feet. We can calculate that from the values that we're given. Okay, so now if you had a question that said, what's the total perimeter of the shape that's formed by the union of these two parts, let's call the square part A and the rectangle part B. So if you had a perimeter of the shape that was formed when you merge these two together, okay, so let me just trace over in green. We want to know what is that perimeter. Okay, so let's just do a list here. So we got 12, right? 12, 4, 12, right? We figured out that's 28. Okay, then we got across the top here, we got 12. I didn't write that in, sorry. We got a 12 foot here that was missing, but we know it's 12 because this is a rectangle, so 12 feet here. Okay. So 28, and we add a 12. And then we come down another 12. And then we come over 12. Okay. So if we add up all those values of all those sides, that'll give us the total perimeter of this shape in green. Okay, so let's do that math. So we got 12. How many 12s we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 12s is 72, right? Plus 4 is 76. And then what we have left is 28. So we got 76 feet plus 28 feet. Okay, what does the perimeter equal? So I got 14, 8, and 2 is 12. So the total perimeter of this shape is 124 feet. Okay, so if you went with a tape measure and measured all the way around this, that's what you'd get. You get 124 feet. Okay? So that's perimeter. Okay, just the perimeter, remember, is the sum of the length of all the sides of a shape, right? Or another way to think about it is the distance around the outside of a shape. Okay, that's what perimeter is. And I kind of showed you here how you can fill in some missing lengths of sides, right? With just kind of using some logic there with a couple parts and figure out the perimeter for the combined shape. Okay, and I've got a workshop that'll help you guys practice that. Okay, so that's perimeter. Okay, so let's stop this video, and then we're going to do another video where we just work with some areas of those same basic shapes: squares, rectangles, and right triangles.